to an On Your Side investigation from Kenamaro. It's the life-saving vehicle that you hope never gets used during high school sporting events, an ambulance, which is always nearby. Or is it?
A Jacksonville mom whose son was injured discovered that it's not always the case. She told Ken a consistent policy needs to be in place statewide.
That's correct. I did some checking with the Centers for Disease Control on stats about high school sports injuries, and the numbers are very high. There are 2 million injuries, 500,000 doctor visits, and 30,000 hospitalizations each year. Heidi Stewart's son just became one of those numbers, and it revealed to her there is a problem when it comes to ambulance services on the field. Joey has played football as long as he can remember, but says this is the worst injury he's ever experienced.
And I just got rolled up on, and I tried getting up, and it was like a weird feeling, and then I saw it sideways, and it was just, pain started hitting.
It was during the first play in the November 3rd game between Atlantic Coast and Sandalwood High.
It felt like forever before an ambulance got there, because it felt like hours.
He was on the ground while the trainers tried to console him. Heidi Stewart says it took 17 minutes before JFRD would arrive.
That was just from the time that they got from the call to the time they got to the school.
Stewart says that's when she discovered there were no ambulances present during the game.
There was no ambulance there.
Nothing. Not what she expected. She says when she lived in Pinellas County, her son played there. It was a different experience.
There was an ambulance at every field, and we had to buy supplemental insurance.
She finds it troubling to know having an ambulance is a recommendation and not a requirement.
I wish that parents knew, like really knew.
Stewart wants the Duval County School District to make it policy to have an ambulance at all football games.
I mean, we knew the risks signing up for him to play football, but we didn't realize that there was absolutely no accountability for the district. We would love to see ambulances at the fields. Ambulances that could actually service the kids. If it was a brain injury or a head injury, it could have been a totally different outcome.
And that's a concern. Now in Clay County, ambulances are required at all high school football games. No word about the situation in St. Johns County, and I'm still waiting to hear about Duval County's policy. But I did reach out to the Florida High School Athletic Association. A spokesperson told me there's no statewide rule requiring emergency vehicles at high school football games. We cannot simply apply a one-size-fits-all due to varying budgets around the state. That is why we recommend it, but cannot require it. That's even reason the more for this family and others to cry now. Perhaps now is the time to make it mandatory. Back to you.